radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com.
And for good measure, airplane mode.
Cool.
Ashley, why didn't you answer any of my texts?
Well,
I was at work.
They're not going to say that, remember?
I know.
We don't need to even let the assume it in.
The time is 10 a.m.
Uh-huh. Thank you for tining.
It's okay.
Thank you for tuning into the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. My name's Madison, and I'm here with Savannah.
Hello.
We invite you to listen to our broadcasts both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. each week. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www.reader.ku.edu springfieldnews-leader.edu. The site provides details about what's that word? Accessing content via or via?
Either way.
Amazon Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcast by KSMU Radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for more information on receiving a pre-programmed radio. First up, I'm going to start with the weather. And it's from Ozarks First. This is by Tom Schmidt. Says, wet week continues in Ozarks through the holiday weekend. Continuing on, the article says, it's been a wet week in the Ozarks, with one more rain to go before we're through. It's also been cooler the past few days. Temperatures will return to more normal levels today in the mid-70s, with some sun poking through the cloud cover. Now, there's a two-panel picture that Savannah will describe.
Okay. So, the first panel talks about hourly precipitation, with the precipitation being in the under 5% below 8 a.m. for today, and above 20% for 9 a.m. to 28% at 10 a.m. and then steadily going back down until 4 p.m. to where it rises back up to above 20% and stays there till 5 p.m. On the second panel, it shows Missouri in the mid to lower 70s, with the weather being light showers or cloudy and sunny.
As Savannah mentioned before, a weak rainmaker today will try to move in from the southwest. However, dry air will make it difficult for rain to gain a footing. That being said, a few stray rain showers are possible west of Highway 65 across southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas.
Two panels take up the next part of the article, with one of them being Futurecast, showing the movement of the rain as it goes from the lower southwest corner to the upper northeast. And then the projected forecast for tonight, with it being in the high 50s, low 60s, and possible rain.
Stray showers will linger tonight to the west, but most spots will stay dry today and tonight. Moisture returns on Friday with a weak storm lifting from the south. With higher moisture moving in, rain chances get a slight boost. This time, the risk for rain showers is highest east of
Bless you.
Thank you. This time, the risk for rain showers is highest east of Highway 65.
The next two panels show the Futurecast for tomorrow, with it be off Friday at around 11:30, with the storms having moved from the lower southwest corner into the center of Missouri and moving past it into the northeast corner, like I described before. And the future forecast for tomorrow afternoon is going to be mid-60s to low 70s, with chances of storms and sunny and cloudy weather.
Rain amounts for the next 48 hours will be fairly light, generally between 0.25 inches and 0.50 inches. The flood risk is very low, but areas have already seen heavy rain this week and may have some minor flooding issues following a brief heavy downpour. Now this time it's a one-picture panel of rain potential.
On Saturday at 4:30 a.m., with the most rain going in the southeast corner, with it being about an inch to an inch and a half of rain, and the lesser chances being under about 30 or 40 or 0.4 inches.
With Farmington being the highest one with a
Yes.
1.57 inch downpour of rain. Memorial Day weekend looks to remain mostly cloudy with rain chances throughout. While not a washout on Saturday or Sunday, there will be occasional rain and storms. Don't get lost in the rain chances. There will be time for outdoors this weekend. There's another picture of weekend forecast with Friday showing occasional showers with east winds from to 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high of 71 and a low of 60 degrees. On Saturday, it'll be mostly dry with a few showers with southeast winds being the same wind speeds as Friday was, 5 to 10 miles per hour, with a 77 being high and a 59 degrees of low. And Sunday will be cloudy and warm with east winds so what is ESE?
East to southeast.
So what is ENE?
East to northeast.
Okay. They're all 5 to 10 miles per hour, but Friday will be high in the 70s, but
Do you want to finish saying Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be all high in the 70s.
With Sunday having a high of 79 and a low of 61.
Yes. Sorry.
It's okay.
The article ends with the chance for rain sticks around for the start of next week as well, especially on Tuesday. Temperatures will get warmer next week, but daily chances for rain will likely hold steady through the end of the month. That's it for that article.
All right. From the Springfield News-Leader, more than 285 workers locked out of West Plains Defense Tech Plant. Since the beginning of May, more than 285 workers in West Plains have been locked out of work at Leonardo DRS. Leonardo DRS, a defense technology manufacturer, operates a 100-acre heavy equipment manufacturing facility in West Plains. Workers represented by the International Association of Machinist and Aerospace Workers, IAM, Local 2782, were locked out by the company May 1st, according to an IAM news release, after rejecting a company proposal. The proposal, per the union, failed to deliver fair wage increases and forced unsustainable increases in healthcare costs. Members had also voted to authorize a strike if a fair contract was not agreed to. The article is broken up by a photo of the workers in West Plains who are represented by the IAM Local 2782. They are holding signs that describe being locked out and their demands for fair wage increase. They are standing in front of the building and what looks to be a chain link fence as they hold up a group of signs.
Can you see what the signs say?
As described before, I said that they were describing that they've been locked out and their demands.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. How about we write down our questions next time?
Yeah.
Awesome. IAM District 9 Business Representative B.J. Ware said in a written statement a person working to support a family of 4 in Howell County would need more than $41 an hour to cover rent, groceries, childcare, and commuting. Currently, the workers in West Plains make $23 an hour. I want people to understand what this lockout is really about, Ware said. Even if you leave out health care, you still need $32 an hour just to keep the lights on and food on the table. The company chose to lock out our members rather than closing that gap. IAM members at Leonardo DRS build systems that protect American soldiers overseas and keep our nation safe, and they can't afford to take care of their own families. That's wrong, and Leonardo DRS knows it. They need to do right by us. The union is calling on the company to end the lockout and return to good faith negotiations. According to the release, workers are asking the company's wages to keep pace with the cost of living and provide health care they can afford. Carrie Robinson, Leonardo's DRS Vice President of Marketing and Corporate Communications, said in an email statement that the IAM union notified the company April 3rd that they would not ratify the proposal and voted to strike effective midnight April 30th. We respect the rights of employees under the collective bargaining process and remain committed to continued discussions and negotiations in good faith. We believe an agreement can be reached at the bargaining table, and our focus remains on finding common ground for our union workforce, and the company, the statement noted. We remain focused on maintaining operational continuity in support of our U.S. and allied armed forces, customer commitments, and reaching a new ratified contract with our union workforce as soon as possible. With the workers contributing to the creation of defense systems and battle equipment that support American troops, IAM is calling on Leonardo DRS to support the workers that make commitment to America's military possible. While Leonardo's DRS tells the Pentagon it's committed to supporting America's warfighters, it's locked out the very workers who make the commitment real, IAM International President Brian Bryant said. That is not just hypocrisy, it is bad faith at the bargaining table, and it will not stand. And that is the end of that article.
Next one is from SBJ Magazine. This is by Karen Craigo, and it says, Site Selector taps City of Marshfield for
Data center.
Okay.
You can say it either way.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
A second data center is eyeing Webster County, this one inside the Marshfield city limits. Marshfield City Administrator Sam Rost, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name.
It's okay, Sam Rost, you got it.
Rost?
Yes, you got it.
Okay. Sam Rost confirmed that the city received inquiries. What?
Inquiries.
Okay. Inquiries from Texas-based Swarm Systems Incorporated. It's a data center company. This proposed development is separate from the Lumen Solutions LLC data center, now being constructed on Rifle Range Road, north of Marshfield.
So it's pronounced Lumon.
Lumon. Okay. The Lumon Solutions Data Center has been the focus of concern by Webster County residents and others. The Lumen Solutions Data Center has been the focus of concern by Webster County residents and others over environmental and health considerations, with a meeting involving hundreds of people on May 11th. Emails obtained from the city and verified by Rost reveal that
Amir Atif
of New York-based Swarm Systems began communicating with Marshfield officials last year with a visit to the city by Atifi in November of 2025. The company. Okay, the company is interested in an 8.2 acre portion of a larger parcel of property at 630 George Street in the city's industrial park. The Swarm Systems Center would be located roughly 4 miles from the Lumen Solution Center, according to an SBJ review of Webster County Assessor records. On the Swarm Systems website is a rendering of the data center in a recognizable Marshfield setting. It calls the site the Missouri campus, and it promises 20 megawatts, quote, ready for service in mid-2027. There is a button for potential clients to submit inquiries, too. A January email from explains, at a high level, the proposed use is a non-public data center building that primarily houses computer services and related in electrical and mechanical infrastructure. Staffing is limited, and the facility is largely automated with on-site operations, teams performing periodic preventive maintenance. A TFE's email to city's officials describes a facility with 60,000 square feet of building area, subject to change during design, with a maximum height of 39.5 feet. Parking would be sized for the largest shift, estimated at 15 employees, and outdoor electrical and mechanical equipment and emergency standby generators would support the building on a standby basis. The article continues with no formal plans. In a phone interview today, Rost described the swarm system site and visit a TFE's email communications as a fact-finding effort. He said formal plans have not been submitted for the facility. He also said that the parcel split has not been recorded yet with the Webster County Recorder's Office. Why do I keep wanting to say record?
It's okay. Keep going.
Rost said that kind of inquiry is not uncommon. We get lots of calls from inquiries about things, and 99.9% of them never come to fruition, he said. He also said there was a public perception that the city has lied to the public about the data center, with many wondering why the community was not told about the conservations that took place. Questions from site selection teams are routine and often come to nothing, according to Rost. As of today, that property still has not changed hands, and it's not even officially recorded that the property has been broken up, he said. While there's conservation about a data center possibly going in, the parcel could just as easily be sold to a neighboring manufacturer for the expansion. Until we have something set in stone, this is just another inquiry, he said. Sometimes inquiries do come from fruition, Rost added, given the example of a Scooter's Cafe that is coming soon to Marshfield. That's another development that wasn't talked about in the early stages, though it's one that did come to fruition. Rost said he also has multiple examples of site research that applies in nothing, among a car wash that was almost developed on a site near the city's Walmart, but then ultimately was abandoned by the developer. I'm as transparent as it gets, he said. I'm happy to visit with anybody and say, here's what we did, and here's how we did it. Or here's what we did and how we did it. Conditional use permit. Augmenting the suspicion of Marshfield residents after two pieces of
residents are two pieces of legislation.
All residents are two pieces of
legislation
passed by the city's Board of Aldermen on April 23rd. One defining a data center and the other setting data centers as a conditional use with a heavy industrial district. Oh. The first Board of Aldermen measures define a data center as a special facility that performs one or more of the following functions: store, manage, process, and exchange digital detail and information. Provide application services or management for various data processing, just as the web just as the web hosting, internet,
Intranet?
communication, telecommunication, and information technology. Rost said the legislation was put in place following conversations with swarm systems regarding the Rifle Range Road site. That company was considered the site at the time, but it has reached out to ask. It's reached out to the city to ask if it could hook into the city for city facilities.
Has reached out to the city to ask if it could hook into city facilities.
Roch said, well, that was basically a no. Since then, there have been no conversations, Ross said. With the last email exchange with swarm systems happening in January, aside from notification to swarm systems of the new city zoning measure following its passage. The language we put into place came about because of those first conversations, and of all the surrounding communities the language we put into place came about because of those first
conversations,
and all of the surrounding communities having all of these things to pop up, he said. Rather than not having anything in our code, we just wanted to make sure we put a process in there. On a related note, current social media conversation indicates plans for data.
Keep going up.
Wait, what's?
It's plans for 2 data centers in the City of Republic.
Where are you? Okay. You already said all this part?
Yes. So SPG put the question to Colton Harris, Republic City Administrator.
Okay, Harris said there is no truth to the rumors. And Marshfield Roost does Roost right here. Oh, I forgot to say what he said in an email. He said we don't have any applications for the data centers. In Marshfield, Rost said without the conditional permit ordinance, a data center would go into the heavy industrial zoning without district without needing any approval for the Board of Aldermen. Without the conditional use permit requirement, the developer would simply have to submit plans for staff review of aspects like size, that's what I said. Sorry.
It's okay, you said slides.
Okay. Number of entrances, utility usage, landscaping, lighting, and warm star. I meant stormwater.
It's okay.
If you meet those requirements, there will be an issue. Then we will issue a permit and you'll just roll on, he said. With the conditional use permit requirement, a data center development would have to be reviewed by the city's Planning and Zoning Commission and approved by the Board of Aldermen. Processes that can include public hearings are, in order to move forward, developers could also be developments could also be given other requirements like erecting resources,
erecting sound barriers,
requiring a certain percent of the power from renewable resources, drilling its own well or paved a road.
Or paving a road.
Pave. We wanted to make sure we put a process in there, Roch said. He emphasized that he's willing to meet everyone with anyone who has questions. I don't want to see the community divided any further. That is already it, he said.
Then it already is.
we're happy to help we're here to help everyone, and I hope everyone takes that up on us.
Takes us up on that.
SPJ reached out to Swarp Systems for comment, but did not hear back from publication time.
Did not hear back by publication time.
That's what I said. That's it for that one.
Okay. From the Springfield Daily Citizen. Free meals available to students throughout summer at SPS schools. Breakfast and lunch will be available through the USDA's Sun Meal Program, which fills in a gap for some families created by summer vacation.
Huh? What?
Nothing. Article written by Joe Hadsall. A federal program will make free meals available during summer months to Springfield Public Schools students. SPS announced Monday, May 18th, that it will participate in the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Sun Meals program, which will offer free nutritious breakfast and lunch meals to children 18 and younger. The meals will be available from June 1st to 26th at the following schools: Boyd, Carver, Central, Delaware, Fremont, Harrison, Hickory Hills, Jarrett, Mann, Sherwood, Westport, and Williams. A shorthand for summer nutrition, Sun Meals are part of the USDA's Summer Food Service Program, which ensures that children have access to nutritious meals in a pattern similar to the school year. Because school is not in session during the summer, not every child has access to a healthy meal. Breakfast and lunch will be offered at each site. Hours are different between each location. No application or ID is necessary for a child to receive a meal. Adults who accompany children need to check in with a valid ID at the school's office. The location will change in July. Meals will be available at Boyd, Disney, Jeffries, Sherwood, and Williams that month. More details are available on that district's website or by calling 417-523-1110.
Huh? You're fast with these articles.
It's okay.
Is it warm in here?
Not really. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. How about we read the next
I
article?
just run on hot easily.
It's okay. How about we read the next article?
Yeah. Right. Next article is once again by SBJ Magazine. It starts off with Sheena Jackson and Nathan
Christensen?
holding. So who would that be?
Beth Hughes.
Beth Hughes? How do you know? I don't. Oh, okay. So there's a picture of Sheena Jackson, Beth on the left, Beth Hughes on the right, and a special education teacher in the middle, and they're in the middle of a door. They're all standing.
On the left is Sheena Jackson, who is the special education teacher at Kabul High School, and Nathan Christensen, Director of Communications, in the middle.
Okay. And Beth Hughes is a partnership coordinator for the Community Foundation of the Ozarks. Right?
Yes.
And they're all smiling at the camera in front of the Kabul school, and they're holding a what would that be? Not a check.
A banner for a $5,000 grant for the Kabul RIV School District.
CFO Coover Foundation issues 98,000. That's what K means? Okay. In grants to 24 rural schools. And this is by the SBJ staff. The Reeds Spring School District and Table Rock Career received $5,000 to create a student-run coffee shop operated by special education and business students. Funds will also support Kids Feeding Kids, which is a student-led initiative to prepare and distribute 2 community meals to address food insecurity. It is one of 24 grants recently awarded by the Community Foundation of the Ozarks in partnership with the Lewis L. and Julia Dorothy Coover Charitable Foundation and
Commerce Trust.
to rural districts and school foundations. The grants this year were worth a combined $98,000. We know schools are the heart of many rural communities, and these grants deepen those connections, said Jill Reynolds, a senior vice president at Commerce Trust and chair for the Coover Foundation Grant Selection Committee in a news release. We're grateful to support these rural school districts, their students, and communities. The CFO founded the Rural Schools Partnership in 2009 as part of its regional committee because schools are anchors for rural communities, officials say. Actually, can you read this part? Savannah is going to read the next part. It's a look at other Springfield area
I think you can read it, Madison.
grant receipts
Recipients.
below.
Aurora.
I know the name, but what is R/V?
It's highlighting the district. But we can just read it as written. It's okay.
Okay, school district for Aurora. $5,000 for the design and creation of a mural paying tribute to growing up in rural America. Then there's Cassville. RIV.
School district.
$5,000 to purchase podcasting equipment and a smartphone for the communications department and to fund
Incentive.
store supplies and attendance prizes for at-risk students. So what would she be? Number 5? Wait, no.
It's okay. Just keep reading as written. Right here.
Okay, Chadwick, $1,459 for materials, awards, and events recognizing students who demonstrate positive character traits. Fairview, RXI, $5,000 to expand the school news program by upgrading digital media. Yeah.
And broadcasting equipment.
Golden City R3 School District, $5,000 again to produce a promotional video highlighting the school and community to attract families and educators. Hostler RV School District is at almost $500, almost $5,000.
How about we read what's written there?
But how it's typed in, it's $4,999 to upgrade audio/video technology that can help improve students.
That improves student-led coverage
of district athletics, fine arts, and the community news. Then there's Humansville RIV School District, $554 to purchase equipment for the Humansville Police Department, providing student hands-on experience in improving the local technology infrastructure. Mansfield RIV School District is, once again, back to $5,000 to purchase supplies for the math in kitchen class and a veterinarian's luncheon, to renovate
Veterans.
Huh?
A veterans.
luncheon to renovate an outdated counseling office for a student-centered
Into a student-centered
health space,
mental health space.
and to purchase equipment and laptops for a student-led journalism club. Marshfield, R1, $1,500 for supplies and shipments
Stipends?
for a live stream collaboration between the district and the Marshfield Area Chamber of Commerce.
Nixa?
R2 School District, $1,950 to fund a career exploration program with networking and mentorship opportunities for students not included interested in animation
Education.
education. Ozark R/VI, $2,500 to purchase shoes for students as part of the back to school rush.
Bash.
Oh. Then there's
Circoxy?
R-2 School District, $4,699 to purchase a professional camera and lens for broadcasting students and community events.
And that is all of the grants.
Mm-hmm.
From the Springfield News-Leader, Mansfield City Council closed the square, forcing Pride event to move. Article written by Marta Mies. An LGBTQ+ Pride event scheduled for early June in Mansfield must find a new location after Mansfield city leaders decided to close the town squares, despite an earlier reservation. A statement issued by the Glow Center shared that the Heartland Pride event, scheduled for June 6, will have to relocate. According to the statement, the city confirmed that Mansfield Pride would be permitted to use the public square for the event and did not need to appear before Mansfield City Council for approval. An email shared with the News-Leader confirmed that since the event would not require street closures, no further action was needed. Per the Glow Center, at a council meeting on May 14th, a community member claimed he had reserved the square for the same date and the city had lost his reservation. During his public comments, the person also expressed opposition to the Heartland Pride event, according to the statement. As a result, city elected leaders decided to close the square, and the clerk confirmed to event organizers that reservations are not being currently accepted for any events at this time. The news leaders could not reach the Mansfield City Clerk for confirmation and further comment by publication deadline. At best, this reflects a serious failure in maintaining and managing public reservations, the Glow Center statement read. At worst, it represents an intentional effort to prevent Heartland Pride from taking place. Last year, a Pride picnic was held in the Mansfield Square. Aaron Kitchens, Glow Center's executive director, said this year the Glow Center partnered with Mansfield Pride organizers to help with logistics and offer structural support. He said beyond the frustrations of the city not following the procedures it is set out for using public spaces, the change, less than a month in advance, means there will be additional costs for moving the festivities. Teresa Nicolsi, the organizer of Mansfield Pride, said last year she organized the picnic to provide connection and create a sense of community for the LGBTQ+ community in more rural areas. The picnic drew in about 45 people, she said. I realized there was a need for visibility out here, so that other kids, other adults, like we could all get together and just be seen and be heard, she said. This event was supposed to be about community visibility and just helping the LGBTQIA people in our community know that they belong here and that we accept and love them. This year's events are planned to be larger, including vendors and booths. For Nicolsi, the goal is to ensure that those even in the most rural areas feel less isolated. Pride is supposed to be about community, not division, she said. Support shouldn't only be available in larger cities. Just get rid of that isolation so that people are healthier, both physically and mentally, and just have a community where they feel like they can belong. It's all about the feeling of belonging, and I think it would make the community stronger as a whole for everybody if we could just get to the point. get to that point. Now, she said she is looking to find a different venue, either public or private, to hold the June 6th event. Nicholsey said she asked the city about reserving the square in July, with the understanding that council would not allow events in the square in June, but was told the city is not taking reservations for the square at all at this time. We will be hosting events so that the community members know that there's people here that care, and that we're here to take care of them, Nicholsey said. So regardless of the outcome of this, we'll find a way. And that is the end of that article.
Hang on, I gotta zoom in and see it. Hold on. Actually, can you read the next article while I fix this?
From the Springfield Daily Citizen, Daily Citizen recognizes community leaders at annual Distinguished Citizens Award. At the third annual event, the Daily Citizen recognized several individuals who have worked to make Springfield a better place. Article written by Harrison Keegan. There is a photo of people standing as around white cloth tables that have various drinks across them, and people standing around someone named Annie Bush as she is recognized for a Distinguished Public Service Award. Public Service Award was not an individual accolade. Bush, whose long list of accomplishments includes serving on the Springfield Board of Education and spearheading the Springfield Greene County Library District for nearly 20 years, was quick to point to others during her acceptance speech on Tuesday, May 19th, at the Daily Citizen's third annual Distinguished Citizen Awards at the Gilloy's Theater. I got here, I got involved, and I knew that I could try things because there are people here who want to work together, Bush said. And working together is one of the strongest things we can do as a community. In addition to Bush, the Daily Citizen honored several others who have shown a collaborative approach in their efforts to make Springfield a better place. Becky Voles, a president of the Woodlands Heights Neighborhood Association, was named the Citizen of the Year. Kathy Q, an assistant vice president at Guarantee Bank and volunteer at Crosslines Community Outreach, received the Emerging Leader Award. Lisa Farmer, the retired executive director of Harmony House, was recognized with the Catalyst for Good Award. The Gilloy Center for Arts and Entertainment received the Catalyst for Good Nonprofit Award. The presenting sponsor for the Daily Citizen's Distinguished City Award was O'Reilly Auto Parts. Citizen of the Year, Becky Voles. There's a photo of Becky as she stands with the one presenting the award, Tom Carlson, chairman and publisher of the Daily Citizen. They are standing in front of a white background and smiling at the camera together. Becky Voles acknowledged she had a hard time saying no. She's a hard time saying no. First, it was an invitation to join the Parent-Teacher Association at Hillcrest High School, where her granddaughter attended. Then came an opportunity to join the Springfield Council of PTAs, and finally the Woodland Heights Neighbor Association, where she now serves as president. As a community leader, next time you need a hand or voice, just ask someone, Voles said. I'm confident someone is waiting to be asked. Voles has become a tireless advocate for her North Springfield neighborhood. She is known for welcoming new residents and business owners, starting events, and helping her neighbors navigate bureaucracy and resolve problems. Chance Parish, a neighbor who nominated Voles for the award, said he is confident she works 60 hours a week in the unpaid volunteer role. Voles said she is motivated by a desire to highlight her neighborhood and make the city of Springfield a better place. I truly wish for us all to love where we live, Voles said. We can and we will make it better. The Citizen of the Year Award is sponsored by Inkburst Studios, which made a $1,500 donation to the Woodland Heights Neighborhood Association. Emerging Leader, Kathy Q. Kathy Q is standing again with Tom Prater as he presents the award to her. They're in front of a white background and smiling at the camera. Kathy Q arrived in Springfield as a student through Missouri State University's partnership with a university in China. The Ozarks is where she chose to plant roots. The assistant vice president, private banking relationship manager at Guarantee Bank, Q said she strives to put the customer's needs first. Mel Potts with Crossline Community Outreach said Q brings the same service-oriented approach to her volunteer work, delivering food and household products to homebound seniors through Crosslines. In her acceptance speech Tuesday, Q said she was humbled to be recognized and grateful for all the work Crosslines does in the community. Crosslines does incredible work improving the quality of life in our region through their compassionate service, Q said. Volunteering there has taught me that leadership doesn't have to be loud or complicated. It's simply just about showing up, being consistent, and caring enough to act. Q said her volunteer services have shown her that small acts of kindness can go a long way towards improving the lives of people in her community. Giving back to the community isn't something extra, Q said. It is essential. The Emerging Leader Award is sponsored by Dumpster 417, which made $1,500 donation to Crossline Community Outreach. Catalyst for Good, the Gilroy Center for Arts and Entertainment. From left to right in this picture are Andy Lear, who is of the Daily Citizen's board member, Joy Billoy Steele, and Jeff Steele of the Gilroys as they accept the award from the Daily Citizen's presenter. All three are standing in front of a white background once again and smiling at the camera. While Springfield was abuzz earlier this month celebrating the Route 66 centennial, Gilroy's executive director Jeff Steele said just wait until October when the downtown Springfield Theater celebrates 100 years. What exactly is on tap for the show of the century? Beyond that, I don't really know what it's going to be, Steele said jokingly. While Steele might not have all the answers, he and his wife, Joy Billier Steele, has been hard at work raising the profile of Springfield's historic theater with events and efforts to coordinate shows at other Springfield venues. The Gilroys, shuttered for decades before reopening in 2006 following extensive restoration efforts, is now thriving. The arts are incredibly important at any time, Steele said, but they are incredibly important at this time. Steele said he and his staff understood the importance of being stewards for the arts in the Springfield community. A stage for us is a sacred space, Steele said. It doesn't care about your politics, it doesn't care about your religion, your gender, your sexual orientation. It's simply where we recognize that things that make us the same. And there's more about us that's the same than there is different when you really get to it. Steele said the Gilroys' best days are yet to come. It's a remarkable thing to say if we're going to be in 100. We probably have never been stronger than we are right now, Steele said. The award was sponsored by Gladiators Exteriors, which made a $1,500 donation to the Gilroy Center for Arts and Entertainment. Catalyst for Good, Lisa Farmer. There's a photo of Lisa Farmer as well as Suzanne Shaw, who is presenting her the award. They're standing in front of a white background and smiling at the camera. Although Lisa Farmer's name was on the trophy, the retired executive director of the Harmony House felt like she was accepting the Catalyst for Good award on behalf of others. Farmer, the retired executive director of Springfield's only domestic violence shelter, said she was accepting the award on behalf of the victims and survivors of the domestic abuse in the Springfield community. Those survivors that break the cycle of abuse and break the cycle for their children and their children's children, they're really the catalyst for good, Farmer said, because they're creating the ripple effect and they're creating change that will ripple through the community and on to future generations. So really, this award belongs to them because they're the real heroes. Farmer thanked the staff members, volunteers, and donors to Harmony House for helping to support its life-saving mission. Any of my achievements were really accomplished through the work of so many individuals and other organizations who really came together to support Harmony House and to support victims of domestic violence, Farmer said. The award was sponsored by HMI Fireplace Shop, which made a $1,500 donation to Harmony House. Distinguished Public Service, Annie Bush. Annie Bush is accepting an award from presenter Cliff Smart. They're both standing in front of a white background as he hands her the award. Both are smiling. When Springfield Daily Citizen president Cliff Smart was introducing Annie Bush as the year's Distinguished Public Service Award winner, he mentioned her many accomplishments, including serving as the director of the Springfield Greene County Library District from 1989 to 2008, a time period in which the district grew to include the Library Center, Library Station, and Library Branch on Park Central Square. Smart also mentioned Bush's role in the development of the Ozarks Regional Information Online Center network, which provided most Ozarkers with their first opportunity to log onto the internet in the mid-1990s. "I'm sorry," Bush quipped from her seat in the audience. Bush, known for her quick wit and kindness, served as a role model for a generation of Springfield women with ambitions to serve in leadership roles. And while Bush has taken a step back from public leadership, she said in her acceptance speech she is excited for the future. There is a video linked on the website of her acceptance speech, if anyone would like to listen. "I'm grateful and honored to be here today and have these years of service with you and to do good things," Bush said. Bush has also been an advocate for the unsheltered community and been involved in the Mayor's Commission for Children. In a video played before Bush was honored, she said her goal was to make the library a place where people could relax, learn, congregate, and feel safe. "We each come with our own expertise, our own passion, and you need all of that together to make this happen," Bush said. All right. How about we read the article that you had set up?
That's it for that article?
Mm-hmm.
That was long.
Awesome. It's right here.
On. There.
Okay.
Next up from SBJ Magazine. Auto Repair Biz as Republic location. And this was provided by Mitchum
Tire Co.
The two photos show a Mitchum Tire store next to another store called, is Bridgestone called a store? Is Bridgestone a store, or is it a...
Bridgestone and Firestone under Mitchum Tire.
Okay. It shows the inside and the outside. It shows the inside and the outside, with the outside being smoothly paved out and no parking lot lines, but the inside is cleaned with comfy chairs to sit in, decorative, those are not decorative tires, are they?
They're display tires. It is meant to be the lobby of the Mitchum Tire and Auto.
And it's got a water cooler and a tiger logo in the back. Oh, this was by Mike Cullinan, right?
Cullinan, yes.
A grand opening and ribbon cutting, ceremony is on tap May 21st for the new Republic location of a local family-owned automotive repair business. The Republic Area Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting is part of festivities planned at I say it once and I forget it.
It's okay. Mitchum Tire.
Mitchum Tire Company. 122 U.S. Highway 60 West, according to a news release. The grand opening will also include free coffee and donuts, as well as a complimentary lunch served by fellow Republic Business. Republic Business? You mean businesses?
Served by fellow Republic Business.
The Grill Guys of Missouri LLC. Additionally, Mitchum Tire plans to donate a $1,250,000 check to the Republic chapter of nonprofit Care to Learn. The Republic location for Mitchum Tire initially, did I say that right?
Initially?
Opened February 2nd, said Steve Cruz Jr., who owns the business with his brother Corey Cruz. The exit of another automotive company from the Highway 60 storefront provided an opportunity for Mitchum Tires, Cruz Jr. said, adding the company has been owned and operated by the same family since 1939. We have wanted to be in Republic for several years, and our interest peaked when Car X
Peaked when Car X, Tire and Auto,
closed their doors in June of 2025, he said via email. We felt that Republic offered us the opportunity to provide our products and services to a broader range of people, especially those that don't like to come into Springfield for their car services. The newest Mitchum Tire is the sixth location for the company, which also has stores in Springfield, Branson, Nixa, and Ozark, according to its website. Cruz Jr. declined to disclose lease terms or startup costs for the 6,000 square foot Republic shop, which employs 8. That's a type.
It employs 8. It employs 8 people. The implication is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a typo.
Nope, you're good.
Aside from wheel and tire sales, Mitchum Tire services include batteries, brakes, oil changes, preventative temperatures, preventative maintenance, tune-ups, and wheel alignments. Cruz Jr. said that the company is continuing to look for additional expansion opportunities in the Springfield area, but currently has no new shops on the horizon. We are looking for single store or multi-store operators that are waiting to retire or are wanting to get out of the business, he said. Huh?
That are wanting to retire.
What'd I say?
Waiting.
I meant wanting to retire. That's it for that article.
Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. Come by and see us in the person with daily deals at 2713 North Kansas Expressway in Springfield, Missouri. Veterans receive a 25% discount every day, providing significant savings as a token of appreciation for their service. Additionally, the store features a weekly clothing sale where all clothing items are available at 50% off every Wednesday. Seniors aged 55 and older benefit from a 25% discount every Tuesday, making shopping more affordable for the senior community. Next article is the Springfield News-Leader. Missouri lawmakers pass bill expunging drug offenses and restricting drones. Article written by Steph Quinn. A bill restricting the use of low-flying drones and directing the state to automatically expunge drug offenses of thousands of eligible Missourians passed the General Assembly Friday, May 15th. The House voted 110 to 25 to approve the bill, with 18 Democrats and 7 Republicans in opposition. The underlying legislation, sponsored by Republican State Representative Nick Schroer of Defiance, expands an existing law against operating drones over open-air stadiums or concert venues, reducing the minimum occupancy of facilities where restrictions apply from 5,000 to 500. It'll also be illegal to fly drones over power plants, pipelines, and wireless communications infrastructures. There is a photo of State Senator Nick Schroer of Defiance as he stands and presents this bill. He's wearing a blue suit as he reads from a piece of paper. A conference committee of lawmakers from both the House and Senate removed dozens of amendments from the bill, which were added in the House the previous week in lawmakers' last-ditch effort to push their legislation across the finish line. Lawmakers approved a measure mandating automatic expungement of felony or misdemeanor drug possession and unlawful use of drug paraphernalia. Drug trafficking would not be eligible for expungement. A previous version of the legislation included all clean slate eligible offenses, including theft and property crime. Democratic State Senator Brian Williams of University City, one of the sponsors of the legislation, told the Independent automatic expungement would provide relief to Missourians who have served their sentences and are eligible to have their records cleared, but have struggled to find housing or employment. This is streamlining the process and is making our state toward not only helping people clear their records that are eligible, Williams said, but also building a workforce of tomorrow, and most importantly, helping people be able to be model citizens and not have a past mistake follow them for the rest of their lives. The bill requires automatic expungement measures to go into effect by January 1st, 2027, as soon as it's feasible for the Missouri Highway Patrol and Office of the State Court Administrator. It's highly likely that people will start to see offenses expunged sometime in 2026, Williams said. The legislation also includes measures raising salaries for prosecuting attorneys, increasing penalties for the distribution of trafficking of fentanyl, carfentanil, and requiring criminal background checks for staff and volunteers at overnight camps. Democratic State Senator Carla May of St. Louis said during Senate debate on the bill this week that if prosecuting attorneys get a raise, defense attorneys should too. I like the balanced scale of justice, May said. If they give a prosecutor a raise, but don't give the defense attorney a raise, it imbalances the scales. The bill also includes a provision that would allow Missourians with health conditions and disabilities impairing their ability to communicate to apply for a designation associated with the driver's license that would be available to law enforcement. Under another provision, people convicted of drunk driving offenses that cause the death of a parent or guardian would have to pay child support until the child reaches adulthood. Good time credit and St. Louis police measures removed. A House amendment that would have allowed nonviolent offenders to earn up to a year of good time credit towards their sentences for participating in educational or rehabilitative programs did not survive negotiations. Democratic State Representative Kimberly Ann Collins of St. Louis, who sponsored the measure for the 6th year in a row, said it was removed because it was attached to another amendment that was taken out. The measure would have required the Missouri Department of Corrections to provide inmates with state-issued identification and record of their education or job training while incarcerated to help them find employment upon release. If you don't want to hear me talk about that again on the floor, do not take it out of the bill, Collins said. During House debate on the bill the previous week, several St. Louis Democrats opposed an amendment that would have changed language in the law that placed the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department under state control last year. The amendment, sponsored by Republican State Representative Brad Christ of St. Louis County, which was stripped out of the bill that passed May 15th, would have absolved the new St. Louis Board of Police Commissioners of responsibility for the actions by the department before it was created. Democratic State Rep. Lakeisha Bosley of St. Louis, the amendment would have ensured the city of St. Louis taxpayers were on the hook for any and all litigation. May told The Independent she is unhappy that a lack of consensus about budget flexibility for the St. Louis Board of Police Commissioners resulted in the removal of a provision that would have allowed overtime pay for St. Louis police lieutenants. Current law requires the Board of Police Commissioners to get their approval for the municipality before transferring funds within its budget. With days left in the legislative session, lawmakers failed to reach an agreement and removed all portions of Christ's amendment, including overtime pay for lieutenants. They took all of it out, and I couldn't understand that. They said, I was like, why would we do that? I say we should have left the lieutenant's pay in there. And that is the end of that article.
Next one is from Springfield Daily Citizen. I can't pronounce this one.
Persimmon?
Hill farm owners lived the big city life. Now they're happy, supplying the Ozarks with blueberries. This is by Juliana Goodwin. The article starts with a sign that, like, a type of sign that you would see at a fair or a farm ground. It's got a picture of Permission Hill Berry Farm, and it's got...
Persimmon?
Can you explain it?
So, it's okay, you got everything right. Just persimmon.
Persimmon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the logo contains an oval-shaped view of the field in a cartoon-style drawing with blueberries surrounding one half of the oval. On top, there's an arrow that says farm entrance pointing to the right, and then on top sits a bear eating a blueberry muffin that's waving to the viewers or whatever and says, "Welcome, been waiting on ya." Like I said, a type of sign that you would see at a fair or a...
The entrance to the Persimmon Hill Berry Farm.
Right. It looks pretty cute, I think. It looks cool, I think.
All right.
It says Persimmon Hill Farm is located in Lampe
In Lamp.
and is opening for the season. You can check Facebook for updates on picking conditions. On early summer mornings in Lamp, Missouri, families flock to Persimmon Hill Farm. The laughter and chatter of children fill the field. With buckets tied around their waists, people pluck fresh blueberries, some still cloaked in dew, off the vine. If they keep at it long enough, the tips of their fingers turn a bluish-purple color. Persimmon Hill has attracted generations of families. It is not the only you-pick farm in the area, but it stood the test of time and garnered legions of followers, partially because of its signature thunder muffins. These oversized blueberry muffins are tender and spongy on the inside, bursting with berries and dusted with a kiss of cinnamon sugar on top. Many customers say these are the best blueberry muffins they've ever tried. They sell $1,000. They sell 1,000 muffins a day in high season. Or muffins or blueberries? Okay. They sell 1,000 muffins a day in high season, says Martha
Beaulieu,
who owns the farm with her husband, Ernie. The next picture shows a close-up view of a bunch of blueberry muffins on a gray tray. Yeah, that's pretty much it. They bake another 300 blueberry cinnamon rolls at their farm bakery and also sell cobbler, scones, and a line of jarred and bottled items. You'll sometimes find specialty items like blueberry bread pudding or blueberry banana bread. B.O.
Bonaires
started the farm back in 1982. It's 80 acres, but not all in production. He's from Springfield, and she hails from South Carolina. Martha has a degree in journalism and planned to be a health reporter. She ended up working for the CDC. Ernie has a master's degree in public health. Before settling in the Ozarks, they lived in Kansas City, Seattle, and Atlanta. We really wanted to come back to this area and live a different lifestyle, she says. When I lived in Atlanta, it took me 90 minutes to go 9 miles to work. I could deal with it for a little while. Ernie loved the outdoors. He didn't like the desk job. He wanted to do something that combined his love of outdoors with his expertise. So he started studying studying what?
It's okay. Horticulture.
With the idea of coming back here and opening the berry farm. There's another picture of, would that be Martha's hand? Or Ernie's hand?
It is not specified, so we'll just say someone holding a bucket.
The next picture is somebody holding a bucket of a bunch of blueberries next to a blueberry bush. Below the picture says, "It's going to be a good season at Persimmon Hill Farm," says the owner, Martha
Bonaire.
They were spared from the latest hailstorm that hit Springfield. They're both foodies, adore fresh fare, and love you-pick farms. When they moved back and bought the farm, he started developing it while she landed jobs at area newspapers. Martha spent the next decade at various papers. Then she joined the public relations team at Silver Dollar City and stayed there for 24 years until she retired in 2019. Now they work together on the farm. We spoke to her about the evolution of the farm, the products they sell, and of course, those legendary Thunder Muffins. Now there's a In the Kitchen question and answer with Martha Bonaire. First off, there's a picture of her smiling at the camera, and she's wearing a blue shirt and a white bandana.
To hold back her hair.
Yeah. First question is, how many blueberries do you have? She says, just blueberries. We have 11 varieties. That is about 10,000 plants. Wow. We also grow elderberries, blackberries, gooseberries, and shiitake mushrooms. We make products with elderberries. People pick the gooseberries. The elderberries we harvest to make elderberry juice, syrup, elderberry jelly, and elderberry lemonade. We also make elderberry flour
Cordial.
Second question is, when did you add jams and other products? When we first started, it was just you pick blueberries. After a couple of years, we started making jams. We used a friend's restaurant kitchen at night where we could go in at 11 p.m. until 3 a.m. You have to have a commercial kitchen to do that. When we felt like the interest was there, we started building a commercial kitchen. We added products, shiitake mushroom sauce, blueberry jam, blackberry jam, and raspberry jam. We also made 3 kinds of syrup, blueberry amaretto, and blueberry maple. We also added blueberry lemonade that we make in bottles in a cooler for sale. There's another photo of a bunch of jars that range from persimmon butter to strawberry jam to raspberry jam to blackberry jam. A bunch of jams and sauces in a bunch of jars as they're sitting on a black countertop with a bunch of more in the background.
Made by the farm.
Made by the farm, yeah. Next question, what does this season look like? It looks good. That late March frost hit our earliest variety. We have 11 varieties in varying degrees of ripening for that ripening.
Mm-hmm.
For that reason, they open for limited picking May 21st. You can check Facebook daily for picking updates. Next question is, you're famous for Thunder Muffins? Did you hire someone to create those, or where did you get the recipe? We developed the recipe. There was a friend of ours who made wonderful blueberry muffins. We took her recipe, and what I do with a lot of recipes is take out as much sugar and butter and fat as I can and have it still taste good. I like to slim down recipes whenever possible. Don't get me wrong, these are not low calorie, but I've always cooked without extraneous sugar and fat. We do bake Thunder Muffins year round, selling most in summer and at Christmas. We ship them all over the country too. Next question is, when is the bakery open? We stay open year round, from late August through May. We are mostly processing making syrups, jams, and sauces, and we do private label processing for other companies. When did you add the shiitakes? We needed people who work for us to have something to do in the winter so we could keep them employed. It is a specialty crop that not a lot of people were doing when we started. We wanted to add another specialty crop. The logs are in winter, which is our off season. That provided work for our employees in the winter. We have a mushroom fruiting house, so we produce them year round. Only in late January or early February, when it's really cold, do they not produce. Many years ago, people didn't know what to do with shiitake mushrooms. Now there is a lot more knowledge and interest in shiitakes. We sell them to chefs and stores in Springfield, like Hy-Vee. What's the hardest thing to grow? Blueberries. They are pretty
Finicky.
in terms of audacity
Acidity.
and various pests. That is Ernie's specialty there. He stays on top of the pruning, mulching, and irrigation needs. I handle the kitchen. While I was at Silver Dollar City, he did everything and still does a large degree. We have great people working for us. Now there's another photo of Persimmon Hill staff holding a scone on the left, a blueberry cinnamon roll in the middle, and a thunder muffin on the right, all by 3 workers. It says, the muffins are the best sellers, and on a busy summer day, they might sell 1,000. What's been your hardest or worst year? The year of the hailstorm in 2014. It was the day before we were going to open. Here are all the berries, and we had. Here are all the berries, and we had a hailstorm, and it just knocked the berries off the plants, and it broke the plants too. You already have all the investment in the plants, and the yield did not come. How do you handle the stress of farming? The hardest thing is you can't control weather. You can't control weather. You can help out with irrigation. You can offset a drought, but there's still not a whole lot we can do. So we have to just go with the flow and work around with it. What do you want people to know about farming? One of the best aspects of farming is it is a long-term process, and it's an investment in the land and a way of life. With blueberries, it is 3 to 4 years before they yield. It is slow growth with investment and nurturing. It's a good illustration of what makes things work well in life as well. Little by little, and being patient and consistent over the long term. It is not a way to get rich quick, and it's a lot of hard work, but there are also lots of rewards. The last question is, what's your favorite part about owning the farm? Or what's your favorite part of owning the farm? Interaction with people. They really enjoy it, and we enjoy sharing it with people. To see them come out with their kids and show them how blueberries grow is special. A little kid who plucks blueberries off the plant is often amazed. I remember one little boy who tried blueberries for the first time and he said, "You have changed my life." Laughter. Aww. It's a wholesome activity. They can spend the whole day out here. I love being outdoors. Nature is absolutely amazing. A blueberry plant will produce these gorgeous, delicious fruits. It can be a lot of work, but I do really love it. That's a nice article.
From the Springfield Daily Citizen, nonprofit community bike shop expands with new location on historic C Street. The SBC Community Bike Shop at the Fairbanks has leased a newly built commercial space on the ground floor of the new Sankofa apartment complex on Commercial Street. Article by Ryan Collins. The article starts with a photo of the current SBC Community Bike Shop located in the basement of the Fairbanks. It shows lines of bikes all kind of stacked up within this basement, and they're also hanging from the walls and from beams for maximum amount of storage. The SBC Community Bike Shop at the Fairbanks will open a retail store on the west end of historic Commercial Street this summer. The SBC Community Bike Shop, a nonprofit program of the Drew Lewis Foundation, will support from the Springfield Brewing Company's athletics, has leased a newly built commercial space on the new ground floor of a multi-family apartment complex at 411 West Commercial Street. The new retail location is aiming for a soft opening in July, with a grand opening celebration to follow. The Commercial Street location will primarily function as a storefront for bicycle sales, customer engagement, and occasional volunteer opportunities, Amy Blansett, founder and CEO of the Drew Lewis Foundation, said in an email. The majority of operations, including bike processing, repairs, storage, volunteer coordination, and larger programming efforts, will continue to remain based at the Fairbanks Community Hub. The bike shop started in the Fairbanks Community Hub located at 1126 North Broadway Avenue nearly a decade ago. The shop is run by volunteers. It offers bicycle safety repair lessons and gives free bikes to children. The bike shop takes donations of used bikes and parts from the Springfield community. The Fairbanks currently serves as the primary operational hub for bike storage, repairs, volunteer coordination, programming, and community outreach efforts, Blansett said. The bike shop also relies heavily on quality bike donations from the community. Donated bicycles are repaired, refurbished, and redistributed at affordable prices to help expand transportation access throughout Springfield. Part of Springfield's newest affordable housing complex. The article is broken up by a photo of this new location for the housing complex. It shows the entrance to it. While there is no signage yet, it does just show that the walls have been repainted and that the windows have been refurbished. The Bike Shop Retail Center on C Street will be a part of Vicino's Group's Sencafo, a 42-unit, $13.5 million affordable housing complex that was just completed in spring 2026. Sencafo is pre-leasing units according to its website. The housing development intended to partner with a number of nonprofits for its ground floor retail spaces, according to previous Daily Citizen reporting. Being located on the ground floor of Springfield's newest affordable housing developments aligns naturally with the mission of both the Drew Lewis Foundation and the SBC Community Bike Shop at the Fairbanks, Blansett said. Access to reliable transportation remains a major barrier for many individuals and families, and placing affordable bicycles directly within a walkable neighborhood corridor creates greater accessibility and opportunity for our residents. The bike shop has leased the Sencafo unit for 1 year, with opportunities for renewal and potential expansion of up to 5 years, Blansett said. The opportunity was made possible in part through tax credit programs designed to encourage partnerships with nonprofits and community-serving organizations, Blansett said. Through the initiative, the bike shop has been offered an affordable lease arrangement that allows us to establish a strong community presence while continuing to expand access to affordable transportation resources. Blansett said the bike shop is eager to join the hype of C Street and be a part of community transformation. We believe this partnership reflects the growing momentum around collaborative community development in Springfield, where housing, transportation, local businesses, and nonprofit organizations can work together to create stronger, healthier, and more connected neighborhoods. The article ends with a photo of what is going to be the SBC Community Bike Shop second location. It has the sign of the logo with 2 bikes right behind it. And that is it for that article.
From Springfield Daily Citizen, hold on. There. Sorry, had to go there. I'm good. Springfield Daily Citizen, SPS board approves, $51.7 million construction price for new Pershing. Dang. Groundbreaking for the new school will be held in June. Students will attend classes in the current building while the new one is built. And this is by Joe Hadsell. excuse me. The article starts with the exterior of the main entrance to Pershing Middle School on South Ventura Avenue. This photo was taken by Jim Wilson. I don't really know how to describe a school.
It is the outside of the school,
I got that part, but
as well as the drop-off location for parents dropping off students in the parking lot, and it shows the main entrance.
above it shows a gloomy sky and a wet road as an indication that it probably rained, or most likely rained, and off in the distance there's a red bench.
You're all good.
Springfield Public Schools now knows the price tag for a new Pershing Middle School, paving the way for a groundbreaking ceremony to be held. The Springfield Board of Education on Tuesday, May 19th, approved a guaranteed maximum price of $51,790.
$51,790,538.
Thank you. That much money from Crossland Construction, the project's construction manager at risk. The vote taken during the board's regular meeting was 7-0 in favor. While the cost is about $2 million over an estimated cost, the district built in
Contingency?
funds worth about $1.9 million, says Travis Shaw, a deputy superintendent for operations. Shaw said Wednesday the district was pleased with where the price came in. All along, we planned on a 3%
Contingency?
for this project, Shaw said. Also, we learned that Crossland felt like an about $450,000
Contingency?
was going to be needed for all the site work. You can do a lot of your due diligence up front with geotechnical testing, but you just never have a clear verification of exactly what's in the ground. Sean Dilday, executive director of operations for SPS, said one of the reasons for the price landing above estimates was an increased cost for steel, about $200,000 more, he said, though the original estimation was made in 2025. Shaw said the increased construction of data centers across the country is leading to steel prices going up. The total project cost, including desks, furniture, tech supplies,
Not part.
all of them are not part of the construction.
Well, supply's not part of construction.
Desks, furniture, and tech and supplies are not part of the construction, and they come in at
$58,646,000.
Crossland now assumes the risk of increased costs during construction. Under the construction manager at risk delivery method, Crossland works with subcontractors to determine costs for supplies and construction, then delivers a guaranteed maximum price after bids for those costs are collected. The next picture shows an architectural rendering showing the main entry into a new Pershing Middle School, as there's students walking to other rooms as they're in view or out of view.
There are students walking through a hallway towards a cafeteria, as well as a proposed staircase and courtyard that are
Yeah.
pictured.
Yeah, I got it. And this photo was courtesy taken by SBS, right?
Mhm.
Okay. When completed, the 1,400 at 1,402 104
42.
142,000 square foot school will offer about 48 classrooms, an updated library, a gym, and rehearsal spaces for choir and band programs. It will also be built on the northeastern corner of the school's property. Once the building is completed, the existing school will be demolished, making room for an athletic center similar to what is being built for Pipkin and Reed middle schools. A date for a groundbreaking has not yet been set. Stephen Hall, Chief Communication Officer for SBS, said he anticipates a ceremony sometime in June, depending on when arrangements can be made with Crossland and related subcontractors. Getting to groundbreaking is a long process. Pershing is the final of 3 middle school renovations outlined in a $220 million bond election from 2023. Other projects in the package, called Proposition S, included new middle schools for Pipkin and Reed, storm shelters, and 6 elementary and security upgrades throughout the district. Pipkin and Reed are on track to reopen for the 2026 to 27 school year, and all 6 of the storm shelters have been completed. Because of extra money from several sources, SPS added 2 elementary schools to bond the package. Bingham will be demolished, then reconstruction, and Bissett will be renovated and expanded. From the start, Pershing has been planned as the final construction project in the package. It took the most preparation, right? Preparation?
Yes.
A demographic study was needed to determine whether it should entirely be a middle school. The district decided in 2024 to close Pershing's elementary school. Elementary school students starting in 2026 to 27 will attend either Wilder or Field Elementaries. Both schools have recently had classroom expansions to make room for the influx of new students. Instead of renovating the existing school, the board last year decided to build a new school on the property. Costs to renovate the existing building up to modern standards were deemed too expensive. But neighbors all along Almeida Street and Cedar Brook Avenue, along with the Pershing property's northern and eastern borders, are not pleased with the new plan. They say the building will be too close to their homes and that building's height will enable the students to see into their homes and yards. This district hopes the new school will be ready before the project's original completion timeline of 2028. The board is expected to consider a similar guaranteed maximum price in June for the Bingham project, Dilday said.
All right. From the Springfield News-Leader, Mercy program changes how opioid addiction is handled in rural Ozarks. Article written by Suzanne Such. The first 72 hours after opioid withdrawal is the most crucial and dangerous time frame for someone dealing with a substance use disorder. If you can make it the first 72 hours, your likelihood to make it through withdrawal is so much higher, said Jen Spear, Executive Director of Operations for Mercy Hospital Lebanon. Hearing that, I was like, oh my gosh, we have to prioritize 72 hours. Opioids cause physical dependence, and withdrawal can be uncomfortable and even life-threatening in some cases. It can start with sweating, insomnia, muscle aches, and agitation. Then it can progress to abdominal cramping, nausea, diarrhea, an abnormally fast resting heart rate, or dangerously high body temperature. In rural community, appointments to address addiction may be days or weeks away, and few pharmacies are open 24/7. Without adequate access to support, it's really easy to go back into doing drugs, not because you want to, but because you don't have what you need to be successful, Spear said. Mercy Hospital Lebanon is piloting a program that aims to help rural Ozark patients to get the help they need in the important time frame, which is now in nearby communities including Aurora, Cassville, Carthage, and Mountain Home. Funded by the Health Resource and Services Administration, the program has been so successful that Spear and colleagues presented it in Washington, D.C., and are looking for how to grow the program in the future. Changing the model of addressing addiction in rural areas. Generally, when patients come to emergency departments in withdrawal or after an overdose, providers address their immediate medical needs before discharging them and referring them to a psychiatrist. However, in rural towns like Lebanon, it could be days or weeks before they're able to get an appointment, and the first 72 hours can make or break a person's attempt to stop using the substance. Spear, who grew up in Lebanon, is leading the program. Patients who come into the hospital's EDs with an opioid overdose or withdrawal receive a free medication-assisted treatment pack, which contains 3 days of medication used to manage opioid withdrawal symptoms and to treat opioid use disorder. Buprenorphine, a medication to manage the nausea from withdrawal, Zofran, and opioid overdose medication, Narcan. There's a photo of Jen Spear as she is inside the hospital. She is wearing a pink blazer with a white undershirt and smiling at the camera. At the same time, patients are scheduled for an appointment with Mercy's Virtual Substance Use Recovery Program, VSERP, no more than 72 hours later. In addition to addressing the fact that providers who specialize in substance use may not be physically present in rural areas, virtual visits also guarantee a level of confidentiality otherwise difficult to find in small towns. Through being able to do this virtually, it really is anonymous, Spear said. They don't have to leave work to go to an appointment. They can step away for 30 minutes and do that appointment virtually, and nobody has to know about that. Many of the overdoses or withdrawals the EDs see are on Friday nights, Spear said, meaning that in smaller rural Ozark towns, patients may not be able to get medication that helps them through withdrawal until Monday when local pharmacies open. Lebanon is a small town and there are gaps, but there are smaller towns that feed into Lebanon, said Jen Spear, Executive Director of Operations at Mercy Hospital Lebanon, who also grew up in that town. If our gap is already a big deal, then you can only imagine when you get 45 minutes from Lebanon and there isn't a pharmacy in that town or there's not anything in those spaces. The program relies not only on providing life-saving medications to these experiencing withdrawal, but also presents a roadmap to people who are working towards recovery. Traditionally, when people come into Mercy and receive a cancer diagnosis, Spear said, providers would give them paperwork that outlines what treatment will look like, what medications they'll most likely take, what they're likely to going to experience, and what their families will go through. Previously, when you came into our ED, sometimes we didn't have a Spear said. So we're really changing the model to say addiction is a disease, and we need to be able to walk you through every step of the way. Building a system that lasts to address a need in Southwest Missouri. The expansion was funded in part by a $3,000 grant with the Health Resources and Services Administration. The grant also helps pay for medication and virtual care carts at each facility, as well as training ED providers in compassionate, unbiased care and education of the medications used. While the grant kicked off the program's expansion, Spear feels that progress is allowing them to build a sustainable program which will continue even after the funding is gone. There is a photo of Jen Spear accepting an award in Washington, D.C., where her and her team presented their opioid treatment in March 2026 26's Innovation Tank. They received third place among 10 other health resources and service administration guarantees. This is a photo of Jen Spear and the presenter who is handing her the award for the RCORP, Rural Communities Opioid Resource Program. We've been able to build a system that lasts. When we look at our dollars, really, the grant has allowed for the education piece, for the physical medication piece, being able to provide that to patients at no cost, which is huge, Spear said, adding that once patients are engaged, Mercy Navigators can help them get set up with Medicaid or other insurance, which reduces the cost the hospital system has to cover. In planning the grant, Spear and her team set the goal of seeing 100 patients during the whole year. Since the referral launched in October 2025, the program has seen 109 referrals across 5 hospitals and 35 patients actively engaged in recovery, far exceeding expectations. Previously, VSERP in Southwest Missouri only had 10 referrals over several years, according to a press release. VSERP has existed within the Mercy system for a while, but the grant funding allows the Ozarks to focus on substance use. When you look at this work that is being done, anything above 15% engagement is incredible. We are seeing 32% engagement, said Spear, who attributes the success 100% to the program's commitment to seeing patients within 72 hours. Spear and her team presented their work in D.C. in March, she said, which brought together 42 grantees who took part in HRSA's Rural Community Opioid Response Program. Mercy Hospital Lebanon was one of 10 grantees that presented its program in an innovation tank where attendees voted on the most innovative, creative, and impactful program. Mercy's VSERP opioid treatment program took 3rd place in the event. What we're doing, there's not a lot of people doing this work in this hospital setting, Spear said. It's just very humbling to be able to share that. What we're doing is not only making an impact here, but it's also making an impact nationally. The number of people engaged in the program highlights the desperate need for substance use treatment in Southwest Missouri. In the future, Spear hopes to expand the program beyond opioids, addressing new substances like kratom, as well as alcohol dependence. Even as we were launching this grant, there were new things coming on the market that the VSERP team was seeing. They are the expert in that, and they can help the hospitals educated on what are the things that are going to be walking into your ED. How do we need to treat those patients? Spear said, it's how do we continue to lock arms with our VSERP team, our experts, and how do we continue to make sure our frontline teams are educated on the things that are going to be walking through the front door. Ready?
Yeah. Springfield News-Leader. Springfield police will monitor whether drivers yield at crosswalks. This is by Dave DeMille. The Springfield Police Department will begin a series of high-visibility crosswalk enforcement operations aimed at improving pedestrian safety and reducing distracted driving, according to a community announcement. The first crosswalk yield check is scheduled for May 19th at the intersection of Bennett Street and Jefferson Avenue along the Fast Night Creek Trail, where officers will monitor whether drivers properly yield to pedestrians in marked crosswalks or not. According to the announcement, yield checks are designed to increase driver compliance with Missouri's pedestrian right-of-way and hands-free driving laws, while reducing crashes and near-missing incidences involving people on foot. Drivers approaching the enforcement area will see signage reading "Crosswalk Enforcement Ahead." There's a picture that's titled "Distracted Driver Enforcement" included, as it's showing a new round of crosswalk enforcement beginning on May 19th in Springfield, with officers watching for failure to yield and distracted driving. This photo was taken by Andrew Jansen, and it features a white pickup truck next to a
Crosswalk?
next to a yellow crosswalk.
greenish yellow.
Sorry.
It's chartreuse. More like.
I think it's a neon yellow, like most traffic signs.
Yeah, but you can tell it's not golden yellow.
It's okay. How about we keep reading?
In addition to monitoring yielding behavior, officers will watch for violations of Missouri's hands-free driving law while conducting the operation. Police say distracted driving violations are often visible during crosswalk enforcement, according to the announcement. Drivers stopped for failing to yield or other primary traffic violations may also receive
It's okay. Citations.
for distracted people when applying a
For distracted driving when applicable.
pedestrian behavior is also addressed. Officers may also intervene with when pedestrians engage in unsafe behavior that could put themselves or others at risk, according to the announcement. That can include crossing outside designated crosswalks, crossing major roadways mid-block, walking in the roadway when sidewalks are available, or crossing diagonally instead of using the shortest legal route. Springfield police officers have discretion during traffic stops and may issue a
Citation.
or a warning based on the circumstances of each encounter. Here's how yield checks are conducted. During each operation, 3 officers are stationed at the selected crosswalk for about 4 hours. 1 officer acts as a pedestrian attempting to cross legally, a second serves as a spotter, and a third conducts traffic stops for drivers who fail to yield, according to the announcement. Locations are selected by the Springfield Police Department and City Public Works staff based on traffic patterns, pedestrian activity, crash history, and community concerns. Here are more enforcement plans for 2026. Additional crosswalk yield check locations and dates later in 2026 will be announced by SGF Yields. The effort is part of the city's Safer Streets SGF plan, which focuses on reducing serious traffic injuries and fatalities. More information is available at springfieldmo.gov/saferstreets. The enforcement campaign is funded through a hazardous moving violations grant from the Missouri Department of Transportation Traffic and Highway Safety Division. Residents can learn more about crosswalk yield checks and the SGF Yields Pedestrian Safety Program at springfieldmo.gov/SGF Yields. Follow SGF Yields on Facebook or email traffic@springfieldmo.gov.
From the SBJ, MSU planning Tent Theater's 65th season opening of Performing Arts Complex. The article starts with a photo of the Judith Enyart Reynolds Performing Arts Center during a September 17th ceremony. Article written by Claudette Riley. Opening night for the summer's first Tent Theater production is less than a month away, but planning is in full swing at Missouri State University's for next year's historic 65th season. Oh my goodness, I do apologize. MSU made the decision to offer just 2 productions in 2026 rather than the typical 3, including 2 musicals and a play, because campus projects in the vicinity have limited the sports space available for the summer tradition. The project includes construction of the Judith Enyart Reynolds Performing Arts Complex and a targeted renovation inside Craig Hall, which will include an updated lobby and restrooms that will be used by Tent Theater patrons. The dedication for both projects is scheduled for September 17th. Sean Wall, Dean of the Reynolds College of Arts, Social Sciences, and Humanities, said the scope and timing of the current season was adjusted because much of the behind-the-scenes work, from set designs to costuming, takes place in Craig Hall. We always want to do 3 shows. It's important to reassure the arts community because they see it's 2 instead of 3, Wall said. We want to let everyone know that this is temporary. We're gearing up for 2 musicals and a play in season 65, which will be a huge celebration. 10th Theater productions take place in the John Goodman Amphitheater in late April and early May. Goodman was in Springfield to celebrate the National Route 66 Centennial kickoff celebration. He toured the MSU construction and renovations projects and received an update on planning for the 65th season. He really wanted to walk the space, Wall said. Goodman chaired the Onward Upward campaign, which ended in 2022 after raising $274 million for the scholarships, programs, and facilities, including the amphitheater. He's really been a driving force behind so many of the projects across the university that we have been able to accomplish. It was really special to him, Wall said. One of the other things that came up in conversation was the teachers, the people who really made an impact on John, and so many other people within our alumni community. MSU announced spaces inside the Performing Arts Complex will be named for educators Robert H. Bradley, Louis H. Schaffer, and Louis H. Schaffer. It was very impactful and emotional to John to see his teachers and mentors honored in that way, Wall said. The 24,000 square foot Performing Arts Complex will include a black box theater, lobby and reception area, and performance teaching studios. Funding includes $17.5 million from the states, $5.5 million from MSU, and an 8-figure gift from Tim Reynolds and the C.W. Titus Foundation. Wall said excitement is building this summer for the opening of the new and renovated art spaces and the upcoming season of 10th Theater. This year's 64th season includes Around the World in 80 Days on June 18th to June 20th, and June 22nd to June 26th, and Beehive, the 60s musical, on July 8th to 11th and July 13th to 18th. Wall said the addition of the amphitheater, the recent renovation of Ellis Hall, and the work inside Craig Hall, along with the new Performing Arts Complex, will result in facilities that will match the talent of students and faculty. Most work has been on the southeast edge of campus, along Grand Street and National Avenue. The corner of Grand and National is just now completely transformed, and I see it as a benefit to current students, faculty, and the community, Wall said. There is a high-impact experience in having a state-of-the-art facilities. The Performing Arts Complex has been referred to as a front porch for the campus. It's Judy's front porch for people who are visiting campus, our alumni from all majors across the university, Wall said. It's a special place, and we anticipate having alumni events, guest speakers, external performing artists, a true art experience on campus, and also an open door for people in the community. That was the end of that article.
I heard.
Do you have an article prepared?
I got one more.
Awesome.
Although I'm not sure if it's the same one.
It is not. You haven't read this one.
Okay. Springfield News-Leader, Republic Library hosting ribbon cutting and summer reading kickoff. This is by David DeMel.
Mm-hmm.
The Springfield Greene County Library District will be celebrating the opening of its new Republic Branch Library with a public ribbon cutting ceremony and day-long events on June 1st, according to a community announcement. The ceremony is scheduled for 11:30 a.m. at 921 North Lindsay Avenue in Republic, and will also mark the official launch of the library system's summer reading program across all branches. This year's program theme is Unearth a Story. The Republic event will begin at 10 a.m. with live music from local musicians like Mark Crabtree and Dan Lockmiller, followed by a maker space demonstration at 10:30 a.m. Additional activities throughout the day include food, performances, and historical programming. Following the ribbon cutting, hot dogs will be served at noon, with the sponsorship attributed in the announcement.
At 1 p.m.
I got it. At 1 p.m., members of the Republic Historical Society will present a program on the city's history, and a second maker space demonstration is planned for 2 p.m. Live entertainment will continue later in the afternoon with a 3:33 p.m. performance by Elena Celeste and Mi Amigo Hamlet, followed by ice cream on the patio at 4:30 p.m., according to the announcement. Scavenger hunts and other self-guided activities will also be available throughout the day in the library's Youth Services Department. Republic Branch Library Manager Tisha
Shea
said the district chose to align the grand opening celebration with the start of summer programming. Shea said in the announcement, "We are thrilled to launch our summer reading program alongside the ribbon cutting for our new facility." She even added that the community response since the branch began operating earlier this year has been strong and encouraged residents to explore the new space. The Springfield Greene County Library District operates 10 branches serving Greens County, Missouri. There's more information is available at thelibrary.org. Community Relations Director Vicki Hicks can be reached at 417-616-0564 or go to her email at vickih@thelibrary.org.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. Tune in every Monday through Friday on the Blind Community Thrift Store's YouTube channel at 10 a.m. for more up-to-date news from the Springfield News-Leader, Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Business Journal, and 417 Magazine. Listen after we are live on the Audio Reader Network at www.reader.ku.edu. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio. I'm Savannah.
And I'm Madison.
Thank you for listening.